How's it going, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another review here on Body Bags. This week the theme is a film from your favorite franchise, and my favorite franchise was, and always will be Friday the 13th. I absolutely love the franchise. I love all the films in the franchise. Some I like more than others, obviously, but it's always really just been my favorite go-to franchise. The Elm Street series is a close second. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. A lot of great films in there. I love Freddy, stuff like that. But for today, we're going to be reviewing a Friday the 13th film because it is my favorite franchise. The film that I chose is actually not my favorite film in the franchise, but I actually like it, unlike a lot of people. And that is Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday from the year 1993. So, this film is the 8th sequel in the Friday the 13th series and the 9th overall film. That is incredible. This one follows Jason Voorhees in Camp Crystal Lake once again. But in the opening of the film, Jason is killed. He's been blown up. We've never seen this before. He is completely destroyed. And then we find out that Jason isn't a body. He's not a person. He's more than that. He's kind of this force. And you can't really stop this force. Even if you destroy the body, he'll just get another one. So it's kind of this body hopping, body snatching thing, which is weird. I do agree with that. So Jason can hop from body to body. The only problem is that these bodies are too weak. They eventually, get diseased and get old, and they're not as strong and powerful as his old body. So the only way that he can get back to the way that he was is if he gets into the body of a Voorhees. So there are two Voorhees, family members left. One is the child and one is the mother of the child. So he is on a mission, killing everybody in his path to get his body back. Meanwhile, you have the boyfriend and accused murderer of the final Voorhees woman, and he is trying to protect his love interest. Also, you have a crazy bounty hunter by the name of Creighton Duke, who is trying to stop Jason because he is the only person that knows how. So, Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, is a film that a lot of people hate. And I totally get it, right? It's so far out there compared to what we have seen in the first 8 films that people just love to hate it. But there's a lot of good stuff in this film. The opening, the way that Jason gets destroyed is quite shocking. Yeah, now, after you've seen the film so many times, it's part of the story. But to do something like that was really ballsy, and it really did kind of refresh Jason, because, like, holy shit, he's dead. You know what I mean? So, on paper it looks a little better than when it's acted out, because then in the film itself you just don't have Jason, and it's like, well, we have Jason, but we really don't, because it's not really him, it's, other people, and each person kind of acts a little different, so it really doesn't, flow very well. But I still think that it's very powerful to kind of kill him off. And then I've always felt that as the film goes on, you want Jason back so much that by the time you do get him back, it is such a badass moment. I mean, he is a badass. He's like a goddamn bat out of hell. He comes swooping in. It's really crazy. Also, another really good thing about this film is it has some of the better cinematography in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. It's shot really well, and there's a lot of great scenes that are done in slow-mo that just kind of have this epic, badass feel to it. And I've always liked that about the film. There is, negatives to it. There's obviously story problems. For example, Jason should never talk the way that he does in the film. It actually is, a character betrayal, and I think that is a huge negative. Also, there's this weird scene where he's, ties the guy down and like shaves his beard. Like that is completely retarded. I agree, but those are the really like main negatives in my opinion. I think that uh, you know the idea of taking Jason away and making us want him back so much is a problem for most people, but at the same time, I think it is kind of effective in the way they do it. Also, I actually like the mythology that they set up for Jason and why he is unstoppable, because after you have so many sequels, you kind of have to start explaining some of the mythology. Why can't he die? Why has this man never been killed? He's been killed a million times and he keeps coming back. People are starting to wonder what the hell's going on. Of course, some people just assume it's supernatural, but by the time you get to the ninth film, I think it's time to at least attempt to explain it. And I feel like that the way that they did it was better than what most people would come up with. Yeah, of course it's a little silly, Jason hopping through bodies and stuff, but I mean, you're on the ninth goddamn film. It's gonna be a little silly no matter what you say or do at this point. So I like the through a Voorhees, he was born, through a Voorhees he shall be reborn, and through a Voorhees, is the only way he can be killed or whatever. Like that all makes sense to me. It is a strong connection with the Voorhees family, which, makes sense why Pamela was so insane in the first film. Then they even kind of not, like, hinted at it being a little bit more, because of the Necronomicon book in the Voorhees house. And, of course, you have a lot of cool Easter eggs in this one as well. And honestly, I think, it says it right on the cover, this has the most incredible ending we've ever seen, from Fangoria. I think they are obviously talking about the very, very, very end, the final shot of the film, but I think people really forget how incredible that moment was. That moment was insanity when you was a kid. Or when you was younger, whenever this film came out. It was mind-blowing that happened. And those of you who've seen it know what I'm talking about. And people often forget about it because it's, we've seen what happened, the conclusion to that. It's all been resolved. But at the time, you had no idea, So, that's cool as well. I like the look of Jason too. I mean, he looks a little weird. His head's a little weird and stuff. But I mean, he's still badass. Great kills in this one, man. There's some cool kills. Some decent characters. Overall, man, I really do like this film. I really want to go into it like scene by scene and really talk about it in depth. I have many, many more reasons that I could point out on why, it's pretty solid. But I'm gonna save that for when we eventually cover these films on my podcast. My Mind, Moods, and Jeremy's podcast, the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror. And until then, I give Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, a 7.5 out of 10. See you guys next time. Peace.